5-6 into two parts, so we'll do 5-6a today. And the block's going to be nice. So we're going to do law of cosines. And law of cosines is not as pretty as law of sines. Law of sines is so simple and easy. Law of cosines is a bit more complicated. And the proof is a lot more complicated, so I'm actually not going to do the proof for this one. I'm sorry. I know. You feel like you're not getting your money's worth? It's okay. All right, so when you're going to use the law of sines, that would be when you have an angle, side. Okay, those are pretty easy. Also, when you have angle, side, angle. And when you have side, side, angle. Those are the ones that are the troublemakers right there. Yes. So, when do we use law of cosines? Well, law of cosines is going to be used when you have side, angle, side. So two sides and the angle between them. And also for ones that are side, side, side. No angles. Okay, we can't use law of sines there because we need an angle. We need a ratio. And so we're going to do sine, sine, sine. All right, so here we go. What is the law of cosines? Here it is. There are actually two forms of the law of cosines. Law of cosines looks like this. This one right here is for side, angle, side. When you have side, angle, side, what you're going to do is you're going to find the third side first. Okay, you're given two sides, you're going to find the third side. And here's how you find it. Suppose that you have a triangle, A, B, C. And this is little a, of course, little b, and little c. Okay. And let's say that we were given side C, angle A, and side B. Okay, so those are the things that we're given. So to find out what side A is, this is the formula you're going to use. A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2 times B times C times the cosine of A. So, you do? Yeah, wow. Some of you remember that from geometry, how gross that was? Yeah, and you have to plug all these in, and then don't forget to take the square root at the end. They don't want to write equals the square root, whatever. And that works if you have, you know, your other ones will work too. Like if I was given side A, angle C, and B, then it would be C squared equals A squared plus B squared, right?
Wait, so you put the first one as the given one?
Which one? A?
Like A?
A is what you're looking for. A is the not given. So if I was given, you know, A and B, or yeah, A and B and angle C instead, I'd be looking for C. So C squared equals A squared plus B squared minus 2AB times the cosine of C. It's the same formula, okay? All right. Now, the alternate form is when you have side, side, side. When you have three sides and no angles, what you want to do is you want to start by find the angle across from the longest side. Across the longest side. Sometimes it doesn't work right if you don't do it that way. Okay? So if you have side, 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 and let's say that side A is the longest side, then you would do cosine of A equals B squared plus C squared minus A squared all over 2BC. All they've done is they've solved for the cosine here, cosine A. They've subtracted those over and divided by negative 2BC, which changed all the signs here. So those are the two formulas that you're going to need for law of cosines, for side, angle, side, and side, side, side. Do you remember that one? Probably not. They probably only gave you the other one. Okay, let's do one of each, all right? Number one. Is it cold in here? All right, let's do a side angle side. Yeah.
What is that side angle?
Find the angle across the longest side first. Sorry, I should have written first. Yep. So you'll be given 3 sides, and then one of them will be the longest, and you want to focus on finding the angle across from that one first. Yeah. All right, so here we go, number 1. Let's say that we have this triangle. There we go. And let's say this angle is A, and it is 115 degrees. And this is B, and this is C. And let's say that they give us side B is 15, and side C is 10. Okay? And we have to solve the triangle. All right, so we have 3 parts to find. So if you look at this, you'll see that, it's side, angle, side. It's a SAS problem. And we're going to use law of cosines. Now, I do not tell you which one to use, law of sines, law of cosines, because it's pretty obvious which one. You cannot, I try to use law of sines whenever I can, because it's nice and it's pretty and it's cute. But this one right here, there's no ratio, so there's no way I can use law of sines. Okay, and I can't solve for another angle because I only have one. So let's go ahead and find this using law of cosines. So we got to find out what side A is, and then find out what angles C and B are. So here we go. You ready? A squared equals, and you're going to need your calculator. And I want you to really practice this. Don't let me just do them, because people, they'll write all the right numbers down, and then they don't get the right answer. It's frustrating, because I want to know what you're doing wrong in your calculator. All right, so A squared equals 15 squared plus 10 squared. 15 squared plus 10 squared minus 2 times 15 times 10. Okay, all these go in, times the cosine of 115 degrees. It's a lot, right? It's a tough formula. All right, so try it. Plug these in. Let's see what you get. Don't stop mid formula either. Do the whole string, okay? 15 squared plus 10 squared is 2 times 15 times 10 times the cosine of 115. I literally put the whole thing in my calculator as I saw it. And then you hit enter and you get 451, and then don't forget to take the square root of your answer. Okay? 21.3. A is approximately 21.3. All right, then, is that what you got? Yeah. Okay, I see it on my paper. Then what you do from here is you go back to law of sines. You just use the law of cosines once, and now you have that ratio, and you can find the rest of it. Okay? So let's go ahead and find angle B next. So we'll do the sine of B over 15 equals the sine of 115 over 21.3. And if you leave stuff in your calculator, you can use it, and then you're not rounding so much. Yeah?
So if you get the first one wrong, you get the whole answer wrong?
Yes. I know. That stinks, huh? That's true. All right. So what I would do is I would go 15 times the sine of 115, close parentheses, and then I would divide that by my answer. And that way I'm not rounding and rounding and rounding the whole time, right? Enter. Okay, so I get 0.6395, and then take the sine inverse. Now these are not going to have 2 answers, so you don't need to worry about finding both of them. So sine inverse of your answer, and that gives you 39.8. So B is approximately 39.8 degrees. Okay, and then finally, to find out what angle C is, you can just use geometry, right? 180, make a triangle. So C would be 180 minus 115 minus 39.8, which gives you 180 minus, what was it, 115? And then minus my answer, if you want to just keep doing that. And that gave me 25.2 degrees. Okay. So we solved the whole triangle. Are you not doing notes today? You're just watching? No. All right, number two. Okay, let's do a side, side, side. Side, side, side. Number two. Last one, and then you'll get a chance to work on these. Okay? They're pretty easy for you. I mean, you guys are really good. You know, you're in ham, this is hard, and then you get to something like this is geometry. This is easy. Easy week, right? Side, side, side. Okay, so here we go. Let's suppose that side A is given to you as 8 feet or whatever. Sometimes they put units. I'm not too interested about that. And then little b is 19, and little c is 14. Okay? And I won't trick you. I'm not going to give you a triangle that doesn't work for this. Okay? I could for law of sines, but not for law of cosines. They'll work. All right, so now let's go ahead, and we're going to find the angle across from the longest side first, and that would be angle B. Okay, so we're going to use the alternate form. So we're going to go cosine of B is equal to. Now, we're going to put in A and C. So it's going to be A squared. Oops, hold on. Let's actually put in what A squared is. 8 squared plus 14 squared minus 19 squared all over 2 times 8 times 14. Right? Using the formula, that's where everything goes. So if you go back to the formula real quick, this right here, if you're trying to solve for angle A, then that side across from it that's the only place it goes. Everybody else falls in place there. Okay? All right. So for this, if you're going to put this whole thing in your calculator, you're going to need some parentheses. Okay? You're going to need parentheses here and parentheses there around the whole thing. So I would do parentheses. Can you see that? Not really. Parentheses 8 squared plus 14 squared minus 19 squared. Close parentheses. Divide by parentheses 2 times 8 times 14. All right, and I get negative 0.45. Don't be alarmed. It's okay. You're alarmed. Don't be alarmed. Now we're going to do cosine inverse of our answer. It's just going to be in quadrant 2, 116.8 degrees. It's very alarming, though. You think you did it wrong. You're like, what?
Wait,
Yeah?
you put in 8 squared plus 14 squared minus 19 squared.
I did.
Divided by parentheses 2 times 18
Times 8.
Uh-oh.
There it is. There it
Wait,
is.
what's the final answer you got?
Oh, I got that B was approximately 116.8 degrees. Did you get that?
What did you say about 26? I heard it, but
What did I say about 26?
did you say something about like, I got 26.
No.
I don't know how to make that.
So I put 8 parentheses 8 squared plus 14 squared minus 19 squared. Divide by parentheses 2 times 8 times 14. And then you get cosine of B equals, or is approximately equal to, negative 0.450. Make sure that you're in degree mode. And then you cosine inverse that to get angle B. All right, so that's one.
You did cosine inverse.
Cosine inverse. Yes, cosine inverse. Did you do sine inverse on accident?
Yeah, and that's another thing.
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't be
You
right.
said that.
Yeah. Let's go to the tape, all right?
I have it.
I'm recording right now. All right. Oh, yeah, you record too. That's really good. I have to watch myself in here. Let's do it. Now we have the other ones to do. So you can go ahead and do whichever one you feel like you need to do. So I have angle B now, which means that I have a ratio. So I can use law of sines to solve for, I think I'll just solve for angle C now. So the sine of C over 14 is equal to the sine of 116.8 over 19. Okay, so use law of sines now. So I'm going to go 14 times the sine of my answer. That's kind of cool. You keep using that answer button. Divided by 19, and I get 0.657. And then don't forget to take the sine inverse. This one's sine this time because it's law of sines. Sine inverse of my answer gives me about 41.1 degrees. Okay. And then I have the last one to find, which is angle A. And angle A is going to be 180 minus 116.8 minus 41.1. And let's just always round to one decimal place just to make it easy on you. So that's 22.1 degrees. To have